Identifying key trends. To describe these key features or trends, identify the main trends, such as when data is going up, rising, going down, falling, or staying the same, plateau. And I've used that word plateau because it's high-level vocabulary, and I wanted to teach it to you in order to show you the kind of vocabulary you should be aiming for in this exercise if you really want to score well. We'll talk more about vocabulary and grammar later, but I want you to remember that as a point we'll return to. It's also important to identify key dates in the visual data. What are the key dates? Well, the start date of the period is always a key date, and therefore the end date of the period is another key date, and in between, the other key dates are the dates on which the visual data changed significantly. When the data for one category started going down, that's a key date. When it started going up, that's a key date. Or when it stopped changing at all and stayed the same for a while, that's a key date. So we're picking out the key dates where those key dates are the dates on which there was a significant change in the data. Remember, this is supposed to be a summary of the visual data, so we don't need to describe all the dates, only the most important ones. Now I want to talk about tenses. I'll give you some comparison information first. I want to talk about tenses, but in order to talk about comparisons, I want you to understand that you can't just say that something is bigger or smaller than something else. To make comparisons and contrasts, identify what the differences are in the data, as well as how great those differences are. So yes, as you can see in the first part of this slide, you could say that X is greater than Y. It just means it's bigger. Okay, that's fine. You can say X is less than Y, so it's smaller. That's fine too, but this is not the high-level grammar that we're aiming for. What we really want to do is not only say what the change is or the comparison, but how much it is. So you could say exceeded, for example. You could say X exceeded Y, which means it became much larger. It didn't just get bigger, it became much larger. You could say it grew faster than Y. So it didn't just go up, it grew up faster. Or you could say it declined more slowly. So when you're describing the visual data, making your comparisons and contrasts, don't just think about the verbs, and the adjectives, think about verbs and adverbs, okay? Talk about how much things changed. Talk about how they are different. Talk about how much they are different.